Hey guys, Pedro here, and today we're going to talk a little bit on how creating support for your 3D model on Unyk. To start, we need to understand that Unyk uses support profile. So if we click on the top here where we see default, and I will click here on the view, you have the eye here instead of the pencil. It's because when you have the eye, it means that you can only see, you cannot modify. You will be able to see, modify, or add your own support profile, okay? But what is support profile? As you guys can see here, the support profile holds a list of all the parameters that Unyk needs while creating the support structures. Inside here, we can define general configurations and specific values for each type of support, okay? As you guys can see, Unyk has several types of support. So here we have shoring, scaffold, wall, column, tree, rib, base. We will see each one of them individually when we go to the support creation area. But what is important for you to understand now that we have all those types of support, because we believe that this will give you power to have something more customizable, something more efficient. You can save material, you can have a stronger structure, a weaker structure. It will depend on your machine, it will depend on the material you will be using to print, etc. Okay? As soon as you select the support you would like to modify the initial parameters, like for example, I will select column here, and I can define that when my column is created for Unyk, I want the start point to be 1.3, for example, and I press apply. And then when Unyk creates the column, it will create with the 0.3 teeth top width. You will be able to change at any time when creating the support. This is just the starting, okay? We will not go in all the details here in the support profile, all the parameters and etc. It's just for you guys to have an idea that here in the support profile is the starting point for Unyk, okay? Once you have concluded the modification here on your support profile, you can just apply and it will be working afterwards. So I will close this one. We are not allowed to modify it. So how do we create the support for you? We have three options. It will depend, one, if you are using the workflow. You guys can see here that my workflow is selected. So it means that I must click on support here first, and then I will have the three options here. So advanced, manual, and automatic. The second option is if I'm not using the workflow, it will be here in the end, support. I click here and I will have the three options here again, advanced, automatic, and manual. And if I want to go for a faster approach, I can just right click and create support. This will create the advanced support because it's the one that we recommend. What is the difference between manual, advanced, and let's go here first. What is the difference between the advanced, the manual, and the automatic? Advanced, we will create the support based on your support profile, but you can modify any parameter you want. So for example, you guys will see that we will go to an area that is just for creating your support, and there you will be able to modify the type of support and the parameters. If you go for the manual, you will also go to this area where we create the support, but no support will be created automatically, and you will have to do everything manually. I will show you as well some manual support creation, but just for you to have an idea. And the third one is the automatic. The automatic, you will create everything automatically, but you won't go to the area where you modify the support, but you can go afterward if you want. Okay, let's start with the advanced one here. Okay, so you guys can see that first our environment changed a little bit. Here in the right side we have the support parameters, okay? So in this case it's the scaffold. Here in the bottom also the menu changed, okay? And if you would like to go back to the main one, you can click here and we can see here our object in the platform, or we can come back in the support tab and modify it here, okay? Here in the support tab, what we need to do is to see which surfaces Unyk identified. What does it mean, surfaces? So the idea is that Unyk first he identified the surfaces that may need support, and then he creates support for those surfaces. So if I come here in the view options, okay, and I come here and click in all surfaces, you guys will be able to see that now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 surfaces identified, and that's why he created 4 supports. Okay, so why the tree does not need surface? It's because the tree can connect to multiple surfaces at the same time. So there is no logic for you to have identified those surfaces if it's not going to help you. Okay, we use the surface basically to limit the area where the support will be created. Okay, we have this surface identified and the support does not go out of the contour area. Okay, I can also change this contour area based on the default parameters on the support or on our support profile, or I can also change manually. We will do this in another video, but just for you guys to understand that you can do that. After that, what I recommend you guys should do, that me personally I always use, is the color schemer. So if I come here and click on the color schemer, we can see that now in the surfaces that were identified by Unyk, we have a color pattern. So what is this? Let me just hide the support here for a second for you guys to see better. These 3 ones here, they are flat. So it means that there is no angle or no variation on the area. So that's why it's the same color for the 3 of them. But if we go here, you guys can see that there is an angle over here, and we show in red where is the lowest point. The lowest point, usually, not always, but 99% of the time, it's where your support should start. I must have something here, otherwise I will lose the beginning of the object. So if we come back here and we see all the supports again, you guys can see that Unyk automatically created a column here, so we could hold the beginning of the object, and also we have the scaffold to hold it better. Now that we understand a little bit about surfaces and color schema, we are going to understand the types of support that Unyk has. We will start with the scaffold over here. You need to understand that the scaffold, it's like a honeycomb. It's a support that will create a strong structure, and it's for big surfaces. One thing that we can see here is that the honeycomb, it's a little bit big. What we can do here, for example, is we can come here, bottom view. We will see the bottom view, and for example, I can modify the offset here. You guys can see that if I remove the offset 0.5, this contour here will get closer to the surface contour. So I will put 0 here, and I'm going to also decrease the interval. So I will put 3.5, okay? And once I click apply, both my contour here will get close to the surface area, and also my honeycomb will get smaller. So apply, okay? So now you guys can see that we have 1, 2, 3 almost complete honeycombs, and we also have the contour here. Okay, so this is the scaffold. Now we go to the wall. The wall is also here. The wall usually it's for thin surfaces, okay? So you have like a L format or an S format, some stuff, some surfaces like this, you can use the wall. After the wall, we have the column. So we don't have column created here, we can change this one. So how do I change the support created for this surface? I have 2 options. I can right click and select the new one here, so for example column, or I can come here, this T here is from type, and I can click here and change as well. Okay, so in this case we will keep the column. The column is usually for single point connection. You can also create several columns in a surface, maybe for example for more precision points. Instead of creating like a scaffold or wall, you want to like very precise, so you can add manually the column supports. Besides that, the column also have some subtypes, we can call it that. So we have this one, it's the star. We have the cylinder, okay, and we also have the cone. The difference between the cone and cylinder, for contact point, the cylinder is better, but the cone for some types of object, the cone is better. I can do a video after explaining a little bit more in details the column types and what you should use. So one of the big advantages that the cylinder has over the cone is that you can have an angle in the top. So for example, imagine I want to create a column here. You guys can see that I have this angle, allows the support to kind of be a little bit apart from the other support or from the object or something like that. Okay, so once we have the support, we can now talk a little bit about the tree. it's similar to support, but the difference is that you can have one base structure, okay, here, and several branches on that structure. This will make it easier for you to create the support and also to save material and etc. If we come here, you guys can see that I can have 3 branches, and if I would create the column, it would be like coming from the top to the bottom, 3 bases. This will be very strong, but it wouldn't be efficient. The next one we have is the shoring. You guys can see here that we have a big support structure here, and if I change this to shoring, this will make me save some material. So you guys can see now that we have a better structure. It's easier to remove, smaller as well, it doesn't go, it's like half of the size of the other one, so it will be up to you to use it or not, on how to use it. Okay, the last one we have, we call it rib. You can only create it manually, and it's usually used for small areas or a part that you cannot go with your support there, and you kind of need to use your own object to help the support the part. So if I come here and I go click here and I click here, this is something that you will have it. Okay, so now we created the rib support, and moving forward I will do a manual support for all the other types. After the rib, we can do a wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the supports we created. Now I'm going to create all of them manually, just for you to see how easy it is and that you can also do it. To start, we will do the wall. So let's take a wall here. We can click here, left click, and once you're done, you just right click. You guys can see that I kind of did some waves here. It's just for you to see that you can go in any directions you want with the wall support. Okay, even if you're not satisfied, you can always modify it. You can come here, edit, and that's it, and you just can, okay, so I want to make it more straight, something like this, and conclude. Okay, that's it. So once we have the wall, we can go to the tree to be like in the top that we see here. So 1, 2, 3. Once it's done, right click. Okay, same thing, you can come here and modify any skeleton, and you can modify it here and something like this. You can even move this if you'd like. Done, conclude. Okay, so we have our tree. Then we have the column. The column is very straightforward, you just click, so column, and we can click, 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 something like that. Okay, we will also need one here. Okay, after the column we have the scaffold. We would have to create here, so you select scaffold and you click left, 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 left click, whatever you want, then right click. Okay, it's a little bit big because our support, as we saw later, a little bit big, so 2.5 here. Apply. We have something more strong. The only one we cannot create manually is the shoring, so we can try another thing. So just for you guys to see, we can create a tree here, so something like this, just for you guys to see how you can use the tree. You can see that we also have a kind of a button here, but you can move this and okay, and conclude. Okay, that's it. Once you have your support ready, we just come and conclude. You can conclude here, or you can conclude here on the top. Conclude. But I see that I'm not very satisfied, because you need to understand that the thickness is defined after you create. You can see that we have a thickness here on the wall that if I come back, you can always come back. Okay, so I'm going to come back here now. You guys can see that it's very thin here, but it's based on the thickness you define, 0.5. So once I conclude, I have the 0.5 created here. So what is important to understand as well is that this support that you created, it's not an object yet. Why? Because we need to be able to edit anytime we want. So for you to be able to export this support as an object, you must right click on it and click on convert to an object and then export, or export directly. So if I click export, he will export as an STL, okay, and then you click save. That's it. Now you have your support for you to be able to use in another application or for any reason you want. That's it, guys. So this is the basics of the support. I didn't go too deep because I just want you guys to have a basic understanding on how the support works on Unyk. I will release more videos and I will also explain in more details all the features we have for support, some of the parameters, some tips that it's important for you to understand. So thank you and see you guys on the next video.